so today we are talking about graphing inequalities. So we've talked about an inequality when we were listing domain and range before. The inequality is the greater than or less than symbol. Today we're going to talk about how to plot those on number lines and coordinate groups. So it says inequalities with one variable can be plotted on a number line, like x is greater than or equal to 2. So we were going to graph that on here. The number we're looking at is 2, right? So I come over here to the point 2. Now remember, if the dot is filled in or open, has to do with whether there's an equal to sign or not, right? Does anybody remember if there's an equal to sign, if this should be filled in or open?
It's open, you don't.
Right. And this one has it, so ours should be filled in. If there's an equal to sign with your inequality, we fill it in. If there's no equal to sign, we leave it open. Equal to means it's included, so we want to fill in that number. Okay, and we want to show that x is greater than 2. Which way does things get bigger than 2? That way or this way? Right, things get bigger that way, so that's which way we're going to draw our arrow. Also, a little trick so that you always know which way to point your arrow. If you will keep your variable on the left and the number on the right, it's always going to point the same way as your inequality. Our inequality pointed that way, so does our arrow. Okay. Alright, then it says the solution to an inequality is a point which, when substituted for the variable or variables, makes the inequality a true statement. So it asks which points are solutions to the above inequality. So which letters are included in our drawing?
A, B, C, D, E.
Is A and B in our line?
C, D, E.
There we go. From here to here is our line, right? So we only include C, D, and E. All of those would be solutions to our drawing. Okay? All right. Here it says inequalities with two variables need to be plotted on a coordinate plane, as in the case of y is greater than or equal to x. So if you have an equation, that always has a y and an x in it, right? So you have to put it on here. You can't just put it on the number line. So here they gave us this drawing. So they drew this line for us right here. And they shaded everything above the line, right? You can tell that it's a little bit darker up there. So that must be our solution. It says what points are solutions to the above inequality. So which ones fall in our solution? Right, A, B, and C. A, B is on the line and it's filled in, so we know to include it, and C. All of those are a part of our drawing. It says because for each point the y value is greater than or equal to the x value. So they told you up here that it was the line y is greater than or equal to x. So we drew that equation. And y is greater than when things are above it. So we shaded above it. The shaded region is also known as the solution region because all points which lie in the region represent solutions to the inequality. All right, so turn it over on the back for me. And we are going to graph some of our own. So they give us 3 steps. The first step is to solve for y when necessary. Well, we already know to do that because things have to be in y equals mx plus b form for us to graph, right? So on number 1, is it already in y equals mx plus b form? Yeah, so we're good there. Then it says to graph the line using a solid if it has a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. or graph it using a dotted line if there is no equal to sign. So our line's going to be dotted if there's no equal to, solid if there is equal to. So let's go ahead and graph this first equation. Where does it say it's going to start at? -3. So we go down here to our point, -3. And our slope is -2. So that means we're going to go up and over how much? Right, in the negative direction. So I'll go up 2 and over 1. Okay, and this also says that y is less than or equal to, right? So, according to step number 2, does that mean that our line should be dotted or solid? Solid. So we're going to just draw our normal solid line through these points. Okay, so we're done with step 2. And then step 3 says shade below if you have less than or equal to. Shade above if the line has a greater than or greater than or equal to. So which one do we have? A less than or greater than?
Less than.
Less than. So that means we're supposed to shade below. So we're going to shade everything below this line. Okay. And we already answered this information over here, right? You guys told me my slope was -2, and it started at the y-intercept of -3. Did we make our line dotted or solid?
Solid.
Solid, so we circled the S. And did we shade above or below? Good. All right, let's try number 2 using those 3 steps. So do we need to solve, or is it already in the right form? Right, it's already good to go, so we don't have to worry about that. So then we need to graph it. What's my slope? Number 2. 1/2, and my y-intercept is -3. So it starts at the same point as last time, but this time instead of going up 2 over 1, where are we going? Right, and this time it's in the positive direction. Okay. Also on step number 2, we're supposed to decide if our line should be dotted or solid. Which one should it be?
Dotted.
Dotted, why? Right, no equal to sign. So we're going to make our line a dotted line.
How do you know that the equal sign?
Do you see one there? Is there one there?
I don't want to know. What do you?
Yes, there is.
There's no equal sign.
That's what that is, right there. Okay. And then step 3 is where we decide if we're supposed to shade above or below. So where are we supposed to shade?
Above.
Above. Good. So I'm going to shade everything above this line.
That doesn't look like shading to me, Miss Randall.
That's as good as it's going to get. All right. Let's look at number 3. So on number 3, is it in the right form? Yes, so we're good there. Don't have to worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and plot this. So what's my slope? 1. And what's my y-intercept? Good. So this thing starts at -4. And I'm going to go up and over how much? Good. Is my line supposed to be dotted or solid? Dotted. Good. And then the last choice we have to make, do we shade above or below? Okay, did we have to change the form, or was it already in the right form? Already in the right form. So what did we say our slope was? Good. And my y-intercept? Good. So we knew this thing started at positive 5, and it was going up and over how much?
To the left or in the
Right, in the negative direction. Okay. Is my line going to be dotted or solid? Good. And do we shade above or below?
below. Below.
Below. So it's less than, so that means we shade below.
See, I had it right, but I just had it going the wrong direction.
Now make sure that you